I will stop them. We'll go over that.
All right, we're up. We're up. Hello, Internet.
Hello.
Hello, Internet.
We're live.
So, I found out yesterday that the Game Boy games for Super Mario Brothers are ridiculous. There are pyramids and sphinxes that fly and meow, and there are spaceships immediately following the pyramids, and the fireballs look like magic 8 balls, and the mushrooms look like cupcakes. Found that out yesterday.
All right.
Like original Game Boy?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a good time.
I love how I'm on the converted Twitch, and then it still brings up an alert saying, hey, do you want to go to the converted Twitch? I'm like, I'm here already, but...
They just went live.
Oh.
Thanks.
Oh, geez. What's Sprout saying over here? Progression only happens when Sprout is dead. I will offer a bag tomorrow in raid. What? I have a bag? Why is there a bag? Oh,
I
jeez.
would just take the bag.
What's going on? Why do I get a bag? Sprout, I will accept your bag happily, but I don't know why I'm getting a bag. Well, being offered a bag. You're gonna, like, offer to me and then take it away because you're mean.
When do we want to talk about BlizzCon? Sal, do we want to do that after, like, we go over Guild Hap?
I did say that. You're right, I did say that. I'm sorry, what'd you say, T?
I asked Sal a question, but I don't know if she's eating, so she's thinking. I'm gonna go. She's thinking. You're good.
Just think eating. It's a good way to be. It's a good way to be.
We should not dwell on BlizzCon.
Okay.
I am mostly interested in what I put there for
The intro stuff. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll ask our guests. I'll have you do that. Okay.
While
You can
she's-
ask about BlizzCon. Go ahead.
While she's putting that together, chat room, just be aware we went live so that the alert would go out so that the world would know that we were starting up live, give everybody a chance to get in here, but we're not quite ready to start the show yet. We still got some loose ends to tie up. Jared, Shoeboots, the way this is going to work is we're going to actually start the show. You'll hear in fact, let me change my settings to make sure that you hear it clearly. You'll hear, nope. You'll hear the sounder for the beginning of the show. Don't talk during the sounder because the audience will hear you if you do. And then we're going to get into the, hey, it's episode 140. We've got our guests with us. That's going to be just a, hey guys, how are you? And that's it. Like, we're not doing the actual conversation yet. We're going to introduce all the hosts, and then we're going to end with like a longer period where you guys really get to go. So that's going to be how the beginning of the show is going to work. And then when we get to the end of the interview, we're going to thank you for coming on, and we're going to ask you where we can find you, and yada, yada, yada. At that point, I'm going to need you to hang up on me, because I can do it in Discord, but it involves kicking you out of the group entirely. So rather than do that, it's just easier if you guys hit the hang up. We'll bring in Esh, and we'll wrap up with the raid report. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Righteous.
Should we have a code word if we forget to hang up?
Hang up.
Lemon tree.
Oh man, it's asking for password for the converted podcast.
Thank
Okay.
you, PC Mode. I do agree that my name is pretty fantastic.
Wait a
I
minute,
will.
PC Mode is here? Hey, Jared. His name is also Jared.
Do you not have the password?
Jared meets Jared. For the Google Calendar thing.
Oh,
but
for
I
the
think,
calendar. Never mind.
It's Mythic Raider Eclectic.
I didn't see a guess for next time.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Wow, it's taking a while to load. Okay. I've never seen that happen before. Okay, Google Calendar.
Yeah, mine did some funky things, and I just went, okay, we're gonna forget you today.
Oh.
Yeah.
We don't have a show on the 26th because that is Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay.
Then our next show is December 3rd. And I don't have someone. So next show, December 3rd.
Okay.
Thanks, Turarts.
And it's a surprise guest.
Yeah. And
To everybody.
because of Turarts, we are done with the show notes. That was totally my fault. Well, I mean, I expected to go up at 6, and then my boss and I ended up with a 3-hour meeting. It was a very useful meeting, and it's for my new clients in Saudi that I get to talk to tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., which is great. Actually, it's pretty exciting to have clients in Saudi Arabia.
Do they enjoy Korean barbecue? Do they enjoy it as much as I do?
Nobody enjoys it better than you do.
Oh my god. The best track.
Okay, now I can BS with y'all. How's it going, man? Okay. Shoeboots,
Ah.
and then Jared with the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Shoeboots, we've met.
I think we've met. Well, we were both. I didn't get a chance to. I meant to go up and say hi. I noticed that you were at the panel, the Con Before the Storm, the World of Podcast thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was stuck up front when I saw you, so I couldn't go say hi.
I was sat there because I was in pain and couldn't walk. So I'm like, I'll just sit at a panel.
Yeah, that's how we got most of our audience that night.
I had a really good time at that panel. I asked a question, and I got a prize.
Oh, cool.
Woo!
So there you go.
What'd you win?
The Heroes of the Storm skin for Stitches.
Okay. All right. I was at the panel too.
I am shoving food down my face right now. I have water. Okay, so chat room. Who is going to go in game and invite our guildies? I
It
would
could
love
be
to
me, you guys. It could have been me, but I don't feel like it. So now it's on you.
And it can't be Fragile because you can't be here tonight.
No, he can't. He sent me
Aw.
a message personally. Very touching.
He does
Got me right
that
here.
to me every time, yeah. Oh, man.
He's like the nicest dude.
But I've just been like peeked out for the past hour. Like, gotta go. Now I'm just like chill, ready to record. I hope you guys aren't in a hurry.
Gonna honk down some cheeseburgers. Gonna chill.
Listen, man.
No, I've been working hard all day. I'm ready to take a break.
Me too. This is not a break, though. This is
Mhm.
okay. So,
Slight breather.
well, this is my family, though. This is my you know, my tribe. Okay. So I did do a I did do a podcast with Dark Moon Herald
Okay.
on Thursday. So it was nice to do all that. Let's see. Hey, PC mode. Okay. I am almost ready. Guys, I'm going to pop out my chat so I can talk to people. Pop out. I really appreciate your patience with me on this.
Oh, you're fine.
Because I'm the one that should have all this stuff together. Instead of doing this yesterday, I read my D&D manual. As one does. Okay.
Well, good. That way, the next time, something terrible happens, like a handbag turns out to be a terrible monster, you'll know what to do.
As long as I know what their armor class is, it'll be fine. But otherwise, it's like you don't know what to throw at it. So you just gotta throw everything at it. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
We actually have a pretty good crew in the chat room. Do you have people here?
Yeah, there's a few folks from our team here. Larry the crime donkey is our friend Columbia, and Kleptic, and who else?
Teach is in there too. Austin.
Teach.
Oh,
Teach is Austin. Okay,
God.
we got a few guys from our team in there.
Here's the deal. Like, I'm looking at this. I'm seeing Kleptic, and I'm like, I saw Kleptic at that panel. He was sitting over there to the left. I'm like, what's up, Kleptic? But I didn't get to like hug Kleptic or have a beer with Kleptic, because we didn't have the CTR party.
I got to hang out in Kleptic's hotel room.
Oh, tell me about that.
He was drunk and trying to sleep.
Sounds about
Both
right.
nights.
Yeah.
Par for the course. Cool. Okay.
Oh,
Never
excuse
seen
us.
anything like
Excuse
that
us.
at BlizzCon.
It's Mythic Raider Kleptic.
Oh yeah, Mythic Raider Kleptic, or you can just call him MRK.
What did he
Mr.
change his
K.
name or something?
No.
Mr.
No, he raids
K?
on our team, and at the start of BFA, he joined a Mythic team that raids at a different time from us. So we poke fun and say he's too good for us because he's gone off to find a Mythic team.
You should poke all the fun at Kleptic. All of it. All of it. So, are we ready?
Born ready.
Barfolomew? And Turarts, you're
Call me by my
gorgeous.
full name. Am I in trouble?
No.
Cool. So, say his full name. Okay.
Back
to the fifth
dimension where I came from.
Uh-oh. It's like Beetlejuice. That's not like Beetlejuice.
It was a Superman
like-
thing, I think. Who's ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We're going to start a show in 5, 4, 3.
You're listening to the Converted Podcast, the podcast about the Guild Convert to Raid on Airy Peak, US.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 140 of the Converted Podcast, the World of Warcraft podcast for the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak, US. Today is November 12th, 2018. Sal, what is up?
In this episode, we have Shoeboots and Jared from Asparagus Initiative, your converted shoutouts, Ash and T with Guild Haps, and Raid Report. And you know what? Our guests have a podcast too.
Well, we're going to have to ask him about it. I am Barfolomew the Paladin. With us tonight for the very first time on the Converted is Shoeboots and Jared from the podcast Merely a Setback. Guys, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having us. This is really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Really glad to be here.
Also with us is Sal Mises, the shaman. Sal, how you doing?
You know, everything is great. Back from BlizzCon, got all the love. I gotta gather up all that love and keep it in my heart until next year.
As always, the wonderful Turarts joins us all the way from Turarts Town. Turarts, what you been up to the last few weeks?
Not a lot. Gathering pets for the CTR 6-year anniversary because, guys, BlizzCon's done. 2 months away. Just outside of that, as about a month and a couple days ago, I had a birthday and I turned 29. And so,
Wait, I have something for this. Wait.
Hooray!
I did it.
so we had a show that night. I remember it. I had little balloons. It was wonderful. But so I have started on Twitter, and if you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, you have noticed I've been doing a hashtag 365 to 30 and just kind of journaling the year. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. Like I got my very first ticket 2 days ago. That hasn't gone up yet, just because the ticket has a lot of personal information, like, my address and my driver's license number and social. So I didn't quite post the ticket because that just has a lot of stuff on it. But yeah, so I've just been doing that just to kind of, I know there are people who, when I tell this to, they roll their eyes and they're like, you're only 30. But it's a big deal when you're 29. That jump is big. And then I don't think it matters once you hit 30. It's just like, all right, fine, whatever. But other than that, you just lots of pets. And it's just been great because I've been streaming and chatting. And 1 week I went, there's something like, I think it's 91 pets. It's a big number of pets you can get. I got 4 out of the possible. It was a bad drop week, but I did get the main hand of Illidan's Warglaive on my hunter that I can't use, but I got it. So the RNG gods were just very cruel that week. Very,
Wow.
very cruel.
Wait, you said there was like 9 pets and you got 4 of them? 90 pets and
No,
you got like
90.
4 of them?
Yeah, I think I counted it up. And that might be a little high. No, that might be. How many are there for? There's 6 Raiding Wish leashes, aren't there? Are there 5? I feel like
There are a lot of pets in those achievements.
there's a ton. But I only got 4. It might be 70, but still 4. That's not good odds. Like that's not.
Maybe
But I got the
next week will be
Warglaive.
maybe next week will be your week. A bunch of us were at BlizzCon like in person this year, but I want to know what was going on. How were things on the BlizzCon home front? What was the online situation like?
It was a lot of mix of emotions. For me personally, I would say, and probably for a lot of people, because you guys did a great job at filling in that CTR party gap. So I'm going to shout out right now to Sal and Eve and Barf, and those are the only 3 I can think of off the top of my head because I'm on the spot. But all of that team that helped put together the events for the CTR, because it really was great to go on and see the pictures and see the chatter. But Friday night really felt odd. It really felt like, and it's, again, no one's fault, no blame whatsoever. Things happen, guys. It is what it is. But it was super nice to see the announcements and hear people chatting, like both of the cinematics that happened for Warcraft. Oh my goodness. It was great. So there was a lot of positive chatter, but you could definitely tell, and I'm sure you guys felt it there too, but from being able to be a part of it for just one night, just a little bit, it was very different this year. But that's okay. We still got the news. We still got the drama. There were still trolls. So hey, it was practically like we were there. It's fine.
I didn't know what to do on the Friday night personally, and even Pat was like posting that. It's like, so what do we do tonight, guys?
What did we do?
It's Friday.
I
Well,
have some.
Bed early.
Yeah, a lot of people said they slept, but I have some strong feelings that next year there will be things from chatters and whispers in the wind.
Oh.
Oh, there's some of those whispers have to do with Sal.
Sal, you been whispering?
I whispered a lot while I was there, and we've already got some. Turarts, where'd you hear it from?
I heard it from Mr. Pat Crane. I'm going to totally call him out because I work for BottleSpark, as we've talked about before, and we help find sponsors for things. And I approached my boss a week before BlizzCon started and said, this isn't happening next year. We need to make sure there's a party there, and I don't care how. He's like, I'm working on it. Don't worry. Like, we can't guarantee, but yes, I know this is important. And then I briefly mentioned it to Pat, and he's like, well, here's the thing.
Did he say Sal's already started a conversation?
Yeah. And then
Like
that to someone else did too. I'm not going to call them out, but I'll get you the down low after.
Hey, listen, I'm going to say it right here, right now. Things are already rolling for a real CTR. We're not talking
Type of thing.
Big ostentatious party, okay, but a real CTR event meet type thing. Now I'm not talking about us inviting 5,000 of our closest friends into a hall at the Hilton and throwing out all the swag. I'm not talking about that. Maybe those that days are over, but we got a great idea, and things are gonna happen. I have a year to plan it now, so I'm pretty happy about that. That said, we did accidentally have a party in Swayze and Vash's room.
That was a pretty great party. I had a great time.
Yeah, that just kind of
we
happened.
abducted Iggy's phone and took a bunch of pictures without him knowing. That was really great.
Mm-hmm.
Drank alcohol. We brought Silver and I brought 3 games that sat in the corner unplayed because the conversation space was so robust. There was just people hanging out and having a great time. It was good.
Yeah, and then we did plan a bunch a handful of mini meetups, and good gosh, that totally worked. I had no idea. I thought no one would show up. People showed up to every one of them.
Yep.
Yeah. So that I suppose is the thing we should keep doing. So and I did see the guild photo that got Panda Battle Panda sent that to me today. I posted it in the Discord. So CTR photos, all the love.
That could have been a bigger photo if it hadn't been for the large security barrier that we had to
I know.
carefully climb and sneak past.
I'm gonna say this. I'm disappointed that not all of our guildies could have made the photo. A bunch of our guildies did make the photo. And number 2, everyone at the con was kept safe. So right now, I'm not gonna get mad about Blizzard up in the security. When I say up to the security, I mean they went from a 10% security to wow. Security. And I'm, it'll be better next year, but it did affect our photo for sure.
Well, chat room, be sure to send us your shout outs via Twitter or in the chat. But Barf, I know we've kind of hinted at it, but how has your couple weeks been? It's been
I had Korean barbecue, so I'm good. I threw my local Korean expert into an Uber and forced her to bring me to a Korean restaurant that we found on Google. I think the party was 6 of us total, and we went to Korean barbecue, and she read off the Korean menu and spoke with the Korean wait staff and ordered us a table full of Korean food, and it was delightful. It was like the best meal ever. Anyway, that was a lot of fun.
I'm the Korean expert.
That's Sal. I'm sorry, I didn't call her out. That was Sal Mises the shaman. We knew we were headed in the right direction when the signs for all the shops and stores and things stopped being in English and started being in Korean. That's how we knew we were on the right path to good food. The convention itself was fantastic. They announced a whole bunch of stuff that I was super stoked about. I'm convinced that next year I will be watching the opening ceremonies from the Hearthstone stage instead of the main stage, because it seems like the most chillest, most relaxest, most laid-back place in the history of mankind and womankind. All the kind. It seems like the best place, and that's the place I want to be next year. We got up front, we got up close, but man, the people are pushy when you get that close. When you're like the 4 a.m., 5 a.m. crowd, they push and shove with their sweaty nerd hands, and it was not appropriate. I didn't like it. I'm not that kind of person.
I rolled up at 9:30 and sat at the very front of the Warcraft stage.
You could have rolled up at 4 o'clock and hung out with me and Silver and Brady and Frogsprout, but
Yeah.
that would have been fun too, I
slept,
suppose.
4 hours later than you, so that's great.
There was a 7-year-old in line who was telling us all about how much he loves Overwatch, and I was like, you go get it, kid. Anyways, BlizzCon was rad. However, what also is rad is we've got 2 of our very extra special cool guildies with us, representing the Asparagus Initiative. A big old welcome to Shoeboots and Jared. What's going on, guys?
Not too much. We're actually, as of last night, the Asparagus Initiative got ahead of the curve for Aldir, so we're pretty pumped.
Hooray!
You can say that again.
Yeah.
Do you
Any
get
more
anything
cheering
for
and hoorays
AOTC?
noises?
Do you get it like a
Yes.
yeah?
You get to join Pugs for Normal if you get AOTC.
Yeah. Normal raid must have AOTC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get that, and you actually get a feat of strength for it as soon as the next patch goes live. So it's worth it if you really are into that kind of thing. It's kind of a badge of honor. I think the last like 4 raids maybe we've gotten ahead of the curve as a raid team. So super proud of everyone.
About I guess it would be maybe a year ago, Sharku decided to get the Asparagus Initiative back up and running, and that was our goal throughout Legion, was to get AOTC every tier. And this year, this expansion, we're hoping to go a little further than that, maybe dip our toes into Mythics. So we're pretty excited to get AOTC with about a month to spare, so that we can maybe see about achieving that goal.
Wait, stop. Did anyone else just hear what I heard? He said he wanted to get out.
Oh yeah.
Are you Canadian, Shoeboots?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I said we don't have Canadians on the show anymore.
Who are you shouting at? Your closet's that way.
Yes, I
Shouting
am.
at your
I am
closet?
Canadian.
No, I was shouting not into my microphone to not blow people's ears out. Barf, you ruined.
I thought you were shouting at the production
the-
staff that works in your closet.
Yeah, but the production staff. Hey, what? I said no more Canadians. You know, you say just the one word, and we know. We know.
Sorry, eh?
Sorry.
Poutine. I don't know.
French
Well-
fries and gravy. But go ahead.
I say, well, we know you're Canadian, but tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, let's see. I'm a Pisces. No, I live in Calgary, Canada, which I know you Americans don't really know where anything in Canada is other than Toronto or Vancouver. So that's north of
in the
Montana.
middle.
They have the Winter Olympics there
Calgary's in the
once.
middle.
We did, yes. And yeah, I've been playing WoW since vanilla. I've been to some extent a part of CTR since it first started. I also play a lot on RP realms, and if it were up to me, I would take this whole guild over to an RP realm, but it's not up to me. But other than that, I love raiding and I love lore, and that's why Jared and I and Sharku also have a lore podcast called Merely a Setback.
Well, before we get into that, Jared, we're going to put you on the spot and tell
Oh,
us a little
boy.
bit about yours.
So, hi, my name's Jared Arnold. I'm from Austin, Texas, and yeah, I've been playing with. I met Sharku like probably within 3 days of joining the CTR guild, back in Mist of Pandaria.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay because it has led me to an opportunity to be in a raiding team that I feel is like my family, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. So, yay.
So I kind of want to dig in a little bit to the team a little. Yours is one of the original, if it's the original raid team of Convert to Raid, right?
Yeah, when we were recruiting, I advertised us as the former official raid team of Convert to Raid.
How did it go from Sharku's thing to, are you guys running it now? Like, how did all that transpire?
Well, the original iteration of the team that Pat Crane was on, and Darius and Sharku. I was personally on that team very briefly towards the end, but that team did sort of fall apart, I think, at the end of Miss Pandaria. Jared, I don't remember. Were you on that team at any point?
Yes, I was trialing for that team when they were pushing Mythic. I think it was Mythic, the big dinosaur.
Thok.
Thok.
Yes.
So I was trialing during Thok progression and didn't quite cut it, but I was there.
Yeah. All I remember about Thok was run away.
Run away. Yeah, so I got to know Sharku, actually. He had a team during Warlords, I think, called the Ermagerd Offensive, and it was just sort of a casual, fun team. I think Asparagus Initiative had fallen apart, and he was kind of burnt out. So anyways, got to know him, and then he kind of started floating the idea in the beginning of Legion about reforming the team, and he really wanted to make it kind of what it was before, just like a cool place where good friends, and he invited all the original members, and some came, some didn't. But anyways, full credit goes to Sharku for rebuilding the team, and he still is our raid lead. Jared and I are both officers on the team, so we have a team of about 5 or 6 of us running Asparagus Initiative. But yeah, we're going strong. We like I said, we've got AOTC every tier since we've started, and I don't think there's any signs of us slowing down.
Well, what kind of progression are you guys doing? We heard a little bit, but are you always ahead of the curve? Did that kind of gradually come about? Did you dive in?
No, so the original goal that we had set out for the team, because I was one of the original people that Sharku had reached out to in order to get the Asparagus Initiative rebooted. But we had reformed the team with the goal in mind of getting ahead of the curve for every tier. So that's kind of the headspace that we were in starting out, and it kind of evolved over time to where kind of like our motto now is all like be better this week than you were last week. So with that mindset, we're just in a excuse me, we're just in a mindset to keep progressing. Like the next thing is always on the list for us to go try to get. So like we were talking about earlier, we're thinking about pushing into mythic content within the next week or so. So
is mythic content something that you guys have done in previous tiers, or will this be the first tier that you guys are diving in?
No, I think in Tumas Argeris, we actually did a couple of mythic bosses, but the last tier of Legion, after we got AOTC, everyone just kind of was just like, okay, we know the next expansion's coming out. We're just going to chill and reform right back before Battle for Azeroth comes out. But we have done some mythic content.
What would you
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on. We were going to answer, so go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, to Jared's point of us trying to be better than we were, like AOTC was totally our focus, but now that we have it, we don't want to rest, and especially since they announced that the next patch doesn't come out till December, and they're not even clear if that means the raid comes out at that point or not. But
They were
as long as we have,
They
did
said
they?
the raid will not. They were very clear. They said the raid will not come out with the patch.
Okay, so not knowing when that raid will come out, where we see we have time to still try to do better than what we just did. So it better than AOTC to us means mythic progression. So we'll have to make some tough choices because we have more than 20 people on our team. That's always a delicate situation. But I think everybody on the team really wants this, and so at least in my view, that's going to be probably our focus moving forward.
A really solid bench, anyway. Yeah, what they said, what Hazukosa says was, the Zanya don't have to worry about pushing the raid during, excuse me, pushing the raid during the holidays, and that he said that they really want to release the raid when people are ready for it.
Okay, cool. I must have missed
Yeah.
that. That's great. So definitely we have time to add to our mythic resume, I think.
So we know you guys, it sounds like you're constantly pushing to be better. So you're pushing the stream, probably calling people out occasionally, maybe nice. I don't know. I assume everyone's nice about it. I know that's not true, but that's just my dynamic. What else is your guys' kind of team dynamic? Because I know the original AIE had this kind of image just because of the people who were in it. But what would you say, not AIE, Asparagus Initiative is now?
I'll let you take this one, Shoeboots.
Okay. Well, we're basically a bunch of idiots. Like we
Okay.
I mean, I really look forward to our Discord. I waste a lot of time sneaking peeks into our Discord at work because everyone's hilarious and funny and yeah, so it's definitely become a community of a sub community for me personally within CTR. Like this BlizzCon, there was probably 8 or 9 of us at the con this year, which was a really amazing experience for me. I've been to 4 BlizzCons now, but I've never been to one where I got to meet up with more than maybe 1 or 2 people from my raid team. So we just had an absolute blast, just like, you know, fart jokes and inappropriate humor and that sort of thing. So yeah, I really enjoy the non-raid part of this team. And even though I sometimes struggle because I do feel, as I said earlier, I play a lot in RP realms, and I have tried several times to move my main to an RP realm, but I keep coming back because of this team.
No. Do you have anything to add, Jared?
Yeah, we're just a big family to me. I don't know if everyone else on the team feels the same way that I feel about it, but I love every single one of our raiders, and it's just a good place for anyone, and we our team is open to anyone that wants to come raid with us. Obviously, with raid restrictions, we can only take 30 people at a time, but you know, but yeah, as long as you're wanting to progress and kill bosses, we're welcoming.
And to that point, we also, even for people that maybe don't necessarily want to raid with us, other than maybe once in a while when we're doing something more casual, but they want to be a part of our community, we do have sort of an open door policy. People can join our Discord and just be in our chat, maybe run Mythic Plus with us, or you know, some guys play League of Legends or Overwatch or whatever. So we've tried to really kind of, yes, we have our raid team proper, and when we're doing progression, obviously we have to take people that are geared and who we know. But outside of that, if anybody wants to be a part of the Asparagus Initiative and any of the other things we do, you're more than welcome.
I have to ask.
Go ahead, Turarts.
No, I just say I have to ask. This is my favorite thing because every team has a story, from the let's just learn to raid to the we're going to get mythic first. What stories do you have? Because you have a very eclectic, I know some of these names. I have invited some of these names into the guild. There have to be some stories. Or not.
I mean, I guess kind of the story that I have is just the reincarnation story of Sharku just randomly whispering me one day and saying, "Hey, getting the old team back together, and you in?" And immediate, and didn't even have to give a second thought to it. Just yeah.
I think there's lots of great stories about Sharku losing his cool in raid.
That's Turart says stories. That's what she's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Sharku's a great raid leader because he'll get frustrated and just lose it, and then like come back a second later, be like, "I'm sorry, guys, that was really inappropriate." It's just
He tried to teach me to tank once in Throne of Thunder, and then never asked again. And I took that as my cue to not tank.
What did he do the other day? He accidentally kicked, was it Polio, right out of the team in the middle of a poll?
No,
the wrong
Polio had thought that because someone had said kick because they were referring to interrupting the ads in the first phase of Gahoon, and my co-tank Polio, aka Harrison, decided to target the person that someone was telling to interrupt by saying kick, typed /kick, and accidentally booted him out of the team.
He thought he was emoting. He thought he was emoting.
But he thought he was, he thought he was like going to character kicks other character, and that's not what happened.
I've done that emote, meaning to emote, and it doesn't work, obviously, many times. And I'm like, man, I'm glad that I don't have like the privileges to actually kick anyone out of anything, because I would have done that to Barf like a lot. Because I'm constantly like slash, farting on him or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's also an ongoing kind of joke about kidney stones in our team, because both Sharku and I suffer from kidney stones from time to time. And so a lot of these jokes are probably not appropriate for your audience, but the most recently I had to have a procedure done where they went in. It's kind of cool. They went into my kidney with a laser gun and they shot the kidney stone and blew it to pieces. But I'll leave it to you to imagine how they got the laser gun into my kidney. There was no incision, we'll put it that way. And so there's been a lot of fun discussions about my suffering over the last month or so.
Well, that sounds wonderful. That sounds great. A lot of your team is in the chat room now, here to troll, which is, our favorite thing. Someone mentioned who is the creepy uncle on our team?
Who's the creepy uncle?
That I personally think that's Sokina.
Okay, yeah.
Our heel leader. And speaking of Sokina and stories, while we were on Mithrax progression, the floor in the middle of the room, as soon as you kill
Zul,
that's right. As soon as you kill Zul, the middle of the room opens up, and we had done something that had made the outline of the floor in the middle of the room shine. And we were just like, oh, I wonder if you can walk out onto it. No one was actually taking that seriously except Sokina, who then proceeded to jump into the middle of the room and exclaimed,
Leroy!
but yeah, we cut that clip, and that has been shared. It's probably the most shared clip from my Twitch channel is that moment.
Actually, that reminds me of another moment that we wiped on Heroic Gahoon, and it was actually Jared's fault. Jared plays a demon hunter, and so we told Jared he's a tank, so we didn't have him. You have to run the orbs up the side, so he wasn't doing that because he was our tank. And then we came up with the strategy. Well, it's so easy for demon hunters to do it. You really should just do the first one and then run down and tank. So Jared does it. He grabs the orb and he doing his magic demon hunter things, bolts all the way up there. but instead of actually clicking on the thing to dunk the orb, he just threw the orb to the thing.
No one had told me.
But the best part is he didn't even realize he screwed it up. Like, we just hear him on Discord going, dunked, and that clip is also available because Jared was streaming at the time that he did it. So if you want to see Jared's face as he does that, it's available.
It's pretty glorious.
He had so much confidence, I bet. And then the
And he felt so good about himself.
The realization just like seeps in very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to another topic. We can talk about this all night, but I do want to ask about your podcast. Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so we've been going for a little longer than a year. The podcast started kind of in the early days of us putting back together the Asparagus initiative. I proposed the idea to all of our officers. Hey, I want to do a lore podcast. If anyone's interested, let me know. And both Jared and Sharku got back to me, and so we made a podcast. And initially, I was kind of running the show, but I got super busy with school and stuff, and I couldn't do it. And so rather than letting the show die, I kind of passed the reins to Sharku. So he's basically running the show at this point. But yeah, if you want to check us out, it's called Merely a Setback. You can find it wherever fine podcasts are found. And in short, we call ourselves a lore podcast, but we actually try to be a lot more than that. We like to talk a lot about story, the craft of storytelling, and what Blizzard does to tell our favorite stories. So we look at the books. We love to talk about the plot points and what we think would be interesting. We've had a lot of fun talking about the kind of heel turn Sylvanas has taken, and it's angered a lot of players. But I think the three of us are really enjoying that story because it puts us in conflict. I think the game's actually being successful when it makes us that angry at our own leaders. So I don't know if you have anything to add, Jared.
Well, on the note that Sharku's holding the reins for the show, so to speak, but if you talk to Sharku for longer than 5 minutes, he is almost guaranteed to tell you that he has a terminal degree in make-believe. So with that, we kind of try to add kind of like a little bit of an academic spin to some of the segments that we do. Like most of the time we do like a big deep dive, or we'll pick a subject and really kind of try to feel out like what like the essence of what they're trying to do with these different story elements that they've introduced over the years. And we haven't done one of these segments in a while, but we also have kind of a segment called Professor Sharku, and he kind of like makes a little class out of it and says, okay, like what are the themes? What are the elements? Like we take a bit of the story and try to break it down in kind of a more academic sense. And that's something that I think our listeners have really enjoyed over the last year or so that we've been doing the show.
I've also started telling a really bad joke at the beginning of the show, so there's something that people really don't enjoy as well.
Like a 5 to 10 minute joke.
I've toned them down. I started telling really long jokes with terrible punchlines, but we got some feedback that maybe that's not the best thing for the show. So.
I do that IRL. Yeah.
We also, I guess we've also done a few different things. Like we have guest shows. We've been really lucky with the guests. And by the way, if you have a WoW podcast, it's amazing who will come to your show if you just ask them. Like our first guest was Taliesin and Evitel because we asked them. Scott Johnson has done our show. Jocelyn Moffat. Jesse from the Lost Codex, who has become a really good friend of ours. And yeah, like it's been just an awesome opportunity to meet just really cool people that I've looked up to for years in the community. It's amazing how these people just foolishly say yes and do your podcast if you approach them.
I was trying to watch this dunked video.
It is in the chat, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. Now, our podcast in particular, we are all about the CTR community. And until Talias and Nevatel join CTR, that's not in the cards. And we enjoy getting to know our guildies, which is totally amazing. Now, you guys were Shoeboots. I know you were there. Jared, were you at BlizzCon too?
I absolutely was. This was my first year.
What did you what did you think about BlizzCon?
So okay, in the opening ceremonies, Mike Moorhan, of course, came out, did this whole thing, and like he did his spiel like he normally does, and then at the end of it, he kind of said something to the effect of like "Welcome home" or "You're home" or "This is family," and walking into BlizzCon, getting onto the floor. That is the exact sentiment that I just felt surrounded by literally the whole weekend. There wasn't a moment where I was just like, I would rather be somewhere else. I was just like, this is right. This is my people. and like aside from the polarizing things that happened at BlizzCon, I was absolutely stoked at every turn. I got to, for the first time, because I've never even been to a convention before this year's BlizzCon, and I was able to actually sit down and play things exclusively that other people weren't able to, and that was a super nice feeling. And I was just amazed all around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit different than Jared in that I've been to BlizzCon several times, but I keep coming back for the same reason that he was just describing, that it just feels so good to be there. Even this year, like I wasn't expecting anything major that's not going to be a new expansion for WoW, and I'm primarily a WoW player. I was pleasantly surprised about the Warcraft 3 announcement. That was probably one of the most exciting things that I've seen in a few years, let alone got to play. But yeah, just going to BlizzCon is, and I know if anyone's listening to this who hasn't been to BlizzCon, you're probably sick of hearing people tell you this, but the reason everyone keeps telling you this is because it's true. Like there's something truly special about being there, whether you're at the con itself or at the parties. Like you're just, if you're passionate about any Blizzard universe, this is the place for you. And I intend to keep, as long as I can get a ticket, I'll keep going.
I've gone without tickets. Yeah, that is totally true.
Well, guys, I think that's probably going to wrap this portion of the show up. I want to thank both of you so very much for coming out and joining us tonight. Before we kick you out, Jared, let's start with you. Do you have any shout-outs you want to drop?
Shout out to the guys from the raid team that was at BlizzCon. I had a really great time hanging out with you guys, getting to meet everyone in person.
And how about you, Shoeboots?
Well, Jared just blanket stole all of my shout outs, so I guess I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Gelbin Mekatork, who is going to be featured in the next tier. I wanted to make sure I put it on the record that I'm a huge GNOME advocate, and so if you are also a gnome advocate, you can please message me and we will commiserate about all the punting jokes.
Well, before you go, we have a tradition. We need you to name your raid team. So we'll split this up.
Uh-oh.
Shu, you are going to have to name the tanks and the melee DPS. Jared, you're going to get a second, and you're going to have to name the range and the healer. Kurt. All right, Shu, go.
Oh my god. Well, the tanks are easy. That's Jared and Polio. And I kind of drew the lucky straw here because we're extremely low on melee right now. We only have 4. If you are a melee and want to raid with the Asparagus Initiative, please give us a call. But who are the 4? We got Wubba Lubba Dub. We've got that's the easy one to remember.
They didn't have enough characters for the full thing.
Yeah, I guess. Shoot. Kleptic's not playing anymore. Not Teach. Oh my god. Oh my god. We have no warriors. We have no DKs. We have no feral
Bruno.
druids. Oh, monks. We've got Thalandar. Oh, and actually Willard is a new person that joined, so that's 5. So okay, there we go. Who else am I missing here? Oh my god.
Jared, do you want to help him?
Mom Spaghetti.
Oh, Mom Spaghetti. A demon hunter. Is that it?
I think that's it.
I feel like there's one that we're missing. Well, whoever we're missing, sorry, you're just not important enough to make the cut.
Yeah, at least you're honest.
And now the other 20 people on the team. So our healers, we have Sokina, Rolo Tony, Columbia, Gaz. Oh boy. Relief. Siege. Or Sage, sorry. And then our ranged DPS, we have Teach, Kleptic, Kale. Oh goodness. I'm just blanking.
Sharku.
Oh, Sharku. Well, you don't count because you're here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You can help.
There's got to be like.
Oh, I wasn't really paying attention to what he was saying. I was just kind of enjoying watching him fail.
I reveled in your.
We got Ross who plays Aerogel.
Oh, right. Ross.
And the rest of you aren't important.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you guys. Most people.
If I forgot your name, I apologize.
I think we forgot Columbia, who's in the chat right now.
No, I said Columbia. He's on the heal team.
All right.
Well, there you go. Yeah, most people cheat, and most people get a warning.
Well, you know what? I've seen you guys do that before, and I promised myself I would study up, and then I just totally forgot.
Well, there you have it, the Asparagus Initiative.
Yeah.
So, well, how can we find you guys on the interwebs?
Shoeboots, you take the stage first.
You can. I'm on Twitter at the Shoeboots, and you can email me theshoeboots@gmail.com, and I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/shoeboots. Or if you're on Airy Peak, my character's name is simply Shoeboots, so you can just message me in game if you're interested. Especially if you're interested in being a melee for the team.
And for me, Jared, you can find me on Twitter at Prosperity_42. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Prosperity42, where I stream most weekdays and also raid nights on Thursday and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. You can also find my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Prosperity42 as well.
Right on. Thank you guys again very, very much for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to kick you all out of here so we can bring on Ash for the raid report. But until then, we'll see you around the internet, all right?
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Really appreciate it.
And while we bring on Ash, we got to talk to T in a segment we call It's Time for Tea.
All right. Well, guild event news. CTR anniversary is coming up. I already talked about that, but we'll talk about it again because it is 2 months and like 9 days away. We already have some great prizes that I'm super excited about. If you have ideas for events, hit me up in game and Discord. If you have prizes, mail them to me in game or talk to me in Discord. Super excited. This is year 6. That's a lot. We have to have 2 hands now to count. It's kind of a big deal. Yeah, we have to have 2 hands now to count. But yes, that's going to be kind of the main focus. And I can't get too much into it because I don't know everything, but I had a conversation with the Pat Crane, the guild master. Pay attention to the guild Twitter if you're not already. There may be some things coming, especially if you are a streamer in the guild. So just follow if you're on the Twitter. It's Convert to Raid Guild or CTR Guild, I think is what it technically is. But you should be following it anyway because it's awesome. But just a little heads up of things that may or may not be already in the works. Yay, ambiguity. Ash, how are you?
I'm great. How's everybody?
Lovely. I don't know
Good.
about
Yeah.
these two.
It's good to see you, Ash. You're another person I didn't get to spend enough time with. You and Lonnie. I sat next to Lonnie at the panel, and you were there too. But Lonnie though.
Yeah,
If I got to choose between the two of you,
I mean, you could always sit in the middle.
That is true.
Yeah, but I choose
an option?
Lonnie.
I
And there
mean,
was
I don't
someone
mind.
else. And she and I had fun giggling at each other during the Con Before the Storm, or the World of Podcast panels. Panels, but it just I did have a really good time hanging out with some really great people, specifically the Chicken Coop people. Shout out Chicken Coop. But
How big was the chicken coop at BlizzCon?
we had 7 people
7.
involved.
That's awesome.
In the Chicken Coop.
And
Yeah.
you know what?
Awesome.
No, we didn't. We had 8. As an honorary, even though he wasn't actually in the hotel room with us, we had Sprout with us. Sprout counts.
I met Sprout.
Okay. I think that there were other, chicken adjacent people there. But if you're talking about who was
Actually in the hotel room.
sharing stinky sock bedroom with, then there was, it wasn't like that. Barf hooked us up with some sweets at the Hilton. And not the Hilton, a Hilton.
At a Hilton.
Down the street.
The
A mile down the
The
street.
down the road Hilton. Right.
The beds at this hotel were narrower than advertised.
Just a little cuddling. That's fine.
We had to get friendlier than we had initially anticipated. And when I got there, that was when I realized, oh, I'm the only woman in this situation over here, because Barf and Silverbow were on another side of the wall from where we were. And I'm like, wow, here's me and 5 guys. 4 guys. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, gentlemen, you can leave the room so I can, get dressed. Things like that. Chicken was nice.
BlizzCon.
Anyway, my point was I didn't get to hang out with you and Lonnie.
Yeah,
much.
that's too bad. We were everywhere. We didn't stop moving, it seemed like. It was all the time, zigzagging to one place or the other, or trying to fit food in, self-care and all that, Couple of showers. It's just like, it just doesn't stop. It does not stop. It's hard. But, we had, here's where we failed, and you probably wouldn't have allowed it anyway because you hate being in other people's discords. But we had a special channel set up in our Discord for everybody in Facebook.
I like keeping my Discord.
I know, I understand. I get
I
it.
like having like 3 Discord channels.
I get it. We had a special channel that we put the BlizzConners in, and we all, you know, we were just kind of like little updates. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. And so if people wanted to go find their friends, they could just kind of. And so we, you know, were able to kind of spend more time together that way, and it worked pretty good. And in fact, we even adopted one of the old Warfront guys for just for the BlizzCon, you know, part of the well, for BlizzCon anyway. He was the only Warfront guy there, so we adopted him, and that was pretty cool.
Who was it? Kaifin?
Caden was.
Or Caden
was
is
there.
what I meant,
Yeah.
not Kaifin. Caden is who I
Yeah,
meant.
Caden was there, and
I don't know.
we drug him into our
I know them
Discord
both.
channel, and so we hung out with Caden and some other Facebook people, and it was a lot of fun. So
I like Caden. And Kaifin is like in the chat. I'm sorry, honey. I didn't mean to mess up your name with Caden, but I do it every time. I call him Kaifin a lot. Do you know what member of Warfront that wasn't there, notably? Dr. Pope.
oh,
So
why have he? Because I know you've asked. I know you've demanded to know why.
well,
Why?
you know, he wasn't able to you know, he's got a job and stuff,
Mhm.
you know, and you know, I was gonna make a joke about, you know, I'm gonna cut this out anyway. So no, Pope's got a job, and I miss him, and I know that he's gonna listen to this. So Pope, we missed you. Everyone missed you.
Everybody
And next
missed Pope.
year we're gonna have like a meetup, so you should definitely come.
And Caden missed you. Actually, Caden probably didn't miss him at all, because Caden actually like raided one night while we were there, because they only had 19. So he was like, I have to go. I have to do it. So what happens?
Dude, during BlizzCon? Wow.
Well, I think, you know, it was the night before the actual festivities happened. But so we have a raid report.
Yes,
Oh,
3 weeks. I'm
let's
sure
hear
we
it.
have an active one.
Yes, we have 3 weeks worth of progression for sure. Let's start with the Banana Republic and the Rubber Chickens, who have both gone and killed Gahoon. Good job to those guys. And the Rubber Chickens also move into Heroic and take down Talik. Gluttons for Punishment and the Troublemakers have down the Fetid Devourer. Epic Eggplant takes out Zekvaz. Salad Senate, Rules Gone Wild, and TLDR Just Pull all get Vectus down. And we've got a lot of Zool kills starting at the top. Resolve, Hump Day Heroes, Hell to Pay, Fallen Knights, Standard Dragon Protocol, Threat Level Midnight, 9 to Midnight, From the Ashes, and Bacon and Kegs, all downing Zool. And let's see, Bacon and Kegs also getting Mithrax, and several ahead of the curves. Facepool, Casually Elite, Project Fail Sauce, Hydra Volunteer Fire Department, and Dark One's Own Luck all got their ahead of the curve. So that's 5 new ahead of the curves. Well done to all of those teams. And moving into Mythic, we have 4 progression kills. Project Fail Sauce, Casually Elite, and Facepool all took out Mythic Talik. And congratulations to Facepool, who took out Mother on Mythic difficulty. Booyah.
Whoa. Congrats, Ash.
You
Were
got
you
to
involved in
congrats
that?
those guys. I mean, I was there, but you know, they did it. They're the ones who kill things. I'm just there.
You're
Help.
DPS.
I like help direct traffic or something.
DPS kills bosses, man.
I direct traffic. You know, with the orange cones. You ever see those guys? That's what I'm doing.
That's what you do? All right.
That's what I do. No, but and of course, Rectified didn't have a progression guild, but Rectified is also at the 2 of 8 mythic point. So I know those guys are probably working on Zekvaz or well, it'd have to be Zekvaz. So we'll see. Probably be soon though.
All right.
That's all I got. That's it.
Well, I think unless anyone objects, it's time for shoutouts.
Sounds good.
Chat room, throw them at me, and Eshelon's gonna sing you a song.
I'm gonna what? Who
What it says in the show notes.
It says that's just singing us a song.
Well, who's trolling me then? And what song am I singing? All right, let
you
me
gotta
find it in the
figure
show
that out
notes.
yourself.
Do I have to open it up in the show notes here?
No, it says she'll read out the
I'll
the,
read them just
shout-outs.
as soon as Esh sings a song for us.
Okay. All right. You got it. I mean, I'm totally unprepared, but this is going to happen. Where's that? Yeah, I wrote a song, so you guys don't realize this. This is true story. I wrote this. I didn't write it. Okay. This is a parody, but I got to find it first. Where's that? Where's that? This is the part you'll actually cut out, Sal.
Oh, I'm gonna cut out the big long pause that Barf probably already put it marked.
No,
if I know
didn't.
him. You go ahead and
I'll do it now.
you know. But at this point, we're invested.
Okay.
Okay.
So you got to get yourself in the mindset of Frozen. Okay? The mindset of Frozen. Okay? And you got to get yourself in the mindset of middle of Legion is when I did this. Middle of Legion. All right, here we go. Do you want to run a 5-man? It's just a mythic key away. You know we need that bonus chest so we can be the best. But it feels like we only raid. We ought to run them every day, except for raid. I wish you guys would just try. Do you want to run a 5-man? It's just a mythic 5-man. Go away, Eshelon. Okay, bye. Do you want to run a 5-man or grind more emissary quests? I think speed running is not a chore. I've started longing for the days of 3 big chests. And I know there's more to this song, but I can't find the finished version. So you got like the half baked one.
Did you make him sing on a lark and not realize he had a Legion parody song?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I typed because I knew we didn't have any Twitter shoutouts, so I just like put, and I'll read the chat room shoutouts just as soon as Eshelon, and I just put sings a song instead of reads the Twitter because I knew we didn't have any Twitter.
That was amazing.
Anyone else hear Yentl when he was doing that though? It was, Papa, can you hear me? Papa,
little
can you
bit.
see me? Papa, can you find me? Yeah.
I'm really disappointed that I can't find the finished version. Now I'm sad, but
that was more than I could have possibly hoped for me, just like putting sing a song like just randomly in the show notes today. I'm just like, furiously late typing. I just wrote sing a song, and then you actually had a song.
That was great.
one of those.
Eshelon sang a Yentl song on the air, guys.
Well, while Sal's mind continues to be blown, I'm gonna bust out some chat room shout outs super quick. We have Frog Sprout. Shout out to everyone I met at BlizzCon because you were wonderful and I miss your faces. J-Man says, shout out to the current and former military members in CTR. Thank you for your service, my fellow
Yes.
vets. We had a couple of those Winchester, or Jenny Flynn, sorry, Jenny Flynn. Also shout out to veterans in CTR, and Bear Kitty, shout out to all the veterans. Thank you for the service. Svensson CTR, shout out to the firefighters as well. Winchester has 2 shout outs. One to CTR members that posted tweets, pictures, and videos from BlizzCon this year. It really helped us that we could not be there to feel like we were with you all, and that is true. We have Winchester. Also, quick shout out to a true legend who passed away today, Stan Lee. Thank you for all your wonderful stories that I grew up with. Excelsior. And Svensson also says, send a sad goodbye to Stan Lee. And I will second that.
You know what? Man was 95 years old. Stan Lee, congratulations. Life well lived. And thank you. Thank you for all the joy you brought to us. Yeah, it's sad for sure, but gosh, what a life.
Zeta, real quick shout out to all the awesome RCC, so Rubber Chicken Coalition and CTR that put up with me for the BlizzCon, with Zato for the BlizzCon, not me.
Put up with Zato? Okay, me hanging out with Zato was definitely a highlight. Getting to know Zato better. And you give him a couple of beers, and he's no longer like a not talking person, is the thing. And yeah, so that's the key, Rubber Chickens. Just make sure he drinks. Is that all that's all we got?
That's it. Yep, I was
believe
just
that's
to double
all we
check.
have. Mm-hmm. How about you guys?
I put in the Discord, Sal, the full finished version if you want to like post it. I found it.
I hope the full finished version has like backup singers and effects and everything.
No. It's just like words. That's all. It's just like
it gets a little gloomy. All these plus 15s and not sharing them with you. Do you want to run a 5-man? Please say you do. Why don't you share your plus 15s with me, Eshelon?
That was back when I ran plus 15s. I haven't seen a 15 key in probably. I mean, it's been like, I don't know, 10 months. It's been Legion. I don't know. I haven't seen a 15 key in a long.
Right. Well, okay. I'm gonna start it out. I got some shout outs. Okay. Now there were some people that I got to know a lot better this past BlizzCon. Zato in the chat room right now is definitely one of them. You're amazing. But I want to in particular shout out to these 2 people. Squinty, whom I had very little interaction with before and had a big fun time with. And he got that Murloc costume and he never took it off for like 3 days. And I respect that. And he also slept on the cot in the hotel room. And that's pretty cool too. Also, Iggy, I have had lots of interaction with you in the past, but now I've got something on you. Just wait.
That wasn't ominous at all. T, how you feeling?
Shout out to the CTR guildies who are already donating things for the CTR anniversary that is only 2 months away. This is going to become the joke of the podcast, like when people mention vanilla. By the way, 32 minutes in this episode before someone mentioned it. But yeah, shout out to the guildies who are doing that. And then I was also going to shout out Stanley. Like Sal said, he lived a great life and left a long legacy. I know he's probably impacted everyone here. I think I can say that confidently. And we live in a very fun, interesting world without getting into places this show doesn't go. But just remember that, one person really can make a difference. I think that's the most impactful line that Stanley ever said in one of his cameos. I mean, you can see that at the BlizzCon, Sal just kind of had an idea that you and Barf shot to Pat about, hey, let's still try some things, and look at how big it became and how much it impacted this community still. So just don't forget, you may feel like one person, but you really honestly can make a difference in someone's life. And I think that is the whole point of life.
I think I speak for both of us when we say thank you for comparing us to Stan Lee. Esh, what's going on, man?
I have no idea how to follow something that's very heartwarming and that's wonderful things for you to say. So I have no shout out that can follow that, but shout out to the community and for the recognition that they give to the individuals that make a difference. So the community is good at that, and that's that's the place where my mind is after what Turarts said. So
Barf, any shout outs?
Yeah, mine's going to go basically to all the folks that I spent time with at BlizzCon, basically at all this year. I'm going to list as many as I can off the top of my head. I know I'm going to miss probably most people, but the room was Silverbolt, Sal, Iggy, Zato, Squinty, Buttress. You guys are amazing. I had so much fun hanging out with Sprout, Eve, and Maja. Cell, spent a bunch of time with Brady. Pat obviously was there. Had a couple of conversations with him. Esh and Lonnie, ran into you guys. I actually ran into Lonnie more than Esh, but did see you. I think I saw you like once. Grand Nagus was there. Stone and Lita, I got to run into them, Tuesday or Wednesday? That was really rad. Nin was there, which was so cool. Had a couple of conversations with Pasha. Spent some time hanging out with Jules. Geez, I don't know. There was probably 1 million CTR people there, and I just named like maybe a dozen. So I thank you all so much for you guys. I'm surprised at how some of these cats I've known for like maybe a few years. A lot of them I feel like I've known most of my life at this point. I don't know. It's weird. Like it's all these great, fantastic friendships and relationships and interconnected people all doing great stuff. And BlizzCon's the place where it all congeals into one gushy, sweaty pile. And it's a pile I really like. And I think that's about going to wrap us up for tonight. Yes, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
I'd like to thank Navox and Geek Chic Lisa for our theme music. You can find us on Twitter at @converted_CTR. Turarts is at Turarts. Sal is at @summer_Sal. Esh is at Eshelon. And I am at a bonus level. Sal, when is the next episode?
Our next episode is December 3rd. The reason we're waiting, some time is because of the Thanksgiving. And we're not going to have a show on the Monday after Thanksgiving because a lot of people are still out of work and holidays and blah, blah, blah. So it'll be the week after that, December 3rd. We will see you same bat time, same bat channel.
Looking forward to it. For Turarts.
Bye.
For Eshelon.
see you later.
For Sal.
Bye.
It says catchphrase in the notes. I thought you were going to shout catchphrase like Darren DePaul. And for myself, we'll see you next time.
You can follow the show on Twitter at converted_CTR. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Converted Podcast. And find us on our Twitch channel, Converted Podcast. And join us live every other Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really.
Woot, we showed.
Navox is helping me with something. Oh. I got a text message for someone in our chat room during the show, except that my phone was not with me because I am on a show. Yes, let's see. Navox is helping with a tech issue. Navox, if you're just resetting my password,